text called Atma Bodha. In this Atma Bodha text, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he is giving all fundamentals of Tattva Jnanam. Another name for Tattva Jnanam is called Atma Bodha. So we are seeing one by one, one by one, one by one. One question came to the student, Guruji, if I am all pervading Ananta Brahma Swarupam, then why I myself looking like a limited being, very finite being? How can I am feeling this way? I am getting a life, I have a body, I have a death, I have a lifespan, all this kind of limitedness, why I am experiencing? That was the question. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji said, this is because of upadis. Upadi means conditionings of Atma. When the Atma identifies with these upadis, it will appear as a finite being. If you can see without upadis, you will be pure existence, pure consciousness, and pure bliss, infinite self, Brahma Swarupam. Then he said, for an individual, what are these conditionings, Swamiji? What are these upadis, Swamiji? He said the first conditioning is gross body. Because of this gross body, I am feeling I am a limited being. Second conditioning, he said, that is called subtle body. With 17 components, you have another body that is called Sukshma Shariram. And the third one is called the cause for these two bodies. That is called causal body, Karana Shariram. Because that is the Karanam for Sukshma Shariram and Sthola Shariram. This Karana Shariram is nothing but Avidya Samyuta Vasana. Ignorance about ourselves plus our own individual accumulated vasanas. Vasanas means our own properties in subtle form. These three are the conditionings. Because of these association, this Atma is appearing like a limited being. And he gave in the last class one example that is called Neela Vastradi Yogena Spatikavat. If you take a crystal, Spatikam, and you keep a Neela Vastram nearby it. Neela Vastram means blue colored cloth. And this Spatikam, even though it is colorless, it also appears as a blue crystal. Neela Vastradi Yogena Spatikavat. Bhagavat Shankaracharya ji example. In the same way, because of the association of these three bodies, this Akhanda Ananta Atma is appearing as a limited being. I have a birth, I am a male, I am a female, I am old, young, good, bad, intelligent, unintelligent, ityadi. All the properties of these upadis we are superimposing on our true nature. It was the last class. In today's class, we are going to take 3 slokas with 3 different thoughts, 16, 17 and 18. In 16th sloka, okay Swamiji, problem is there. Problem is nothing but association with the upadis. That is the problem for the knowledge. As long as you are associated with the upadis, so long you are an ignorant being. Problem is there. Then what will be the solution, Swamiji? That solution Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving in sloka number 16. Let us see what is the solution. 16th verse. Repeat after me. वपुस्तुषादिभिः कोशैः युक्तं युक्त्यावघाततः आत्मानमन्तरं शुद्धं विविच्या तण्डुलं यथा. Together. वपुस्तुषादिभिः कोशैः युक्तं युक्त्यावघाततः आत्मानमन्तरं शुद्धं विविच्या तण्डुलं यथा. Bhagavan is saying, Vapuhu tushadibihi koshaihi yuktam atmanam. This atmanam, pure Satchidananda Atma, yuktam. Yuktam means it is associated with what, Swami? Vapuhu tusha adibihi koshaihi. Vapuhu means shariram. One meaning for body is vapu. Vapu means shariram. This atmanam, Satchidananda Atma, yuktam, associated with three bodies. Vapuhu means shariram, but we have three sharirams: Stula shariram, Sukshma shariram, and Karana shariram. With all the three bodies, this Satchidananda Atma is associated. That was the problem. So, what will be the solution, Swamiji? Solution is yuktya avaghatataha. You must do avaghatam. Avaghatam means pounding. In Sanskrit, avaghatam means pounding. In olden days, our old ladies, they used to do pounding of rice. There were no mills and all those things. They used to pound all the rice, and we used to get white rice. That is called avaghatam. Bhagavan is saying, you must do that kind of pounding with the help of yukti, with the help of logic. That will be the treatment for this association of Atma with Upadis. If you start doing this, this pounding is nothing but enquiry, vicharana. If you do the vicharana with proper logic, and then you will be disassociated with these three bodies. You will be you always. So Bhagavan is saying that pounding is the solution for this association. And he is giving one example, Vivichya Tandulam Yadha. In Atma Bodha, I already told, for every thought, Bhagavan gives one example. Here that example is how we remove husk from the rice. You know, the paddy, it is the combination of both rice and covered with the husk. We don't want husk, but even though it is in association with the rice. So what we have to do, Swamiji? We have to do proper pounding. Then rice will be rice, husk will be husk. Then we can go for the real thing, we can leave unreal thing. In Adhyatma Vichara, that is called Atma Anatma Vivekam. Vivekam means we should start thinking. Actually, who am I? Who am I not? then these 5 koshas we can dissociate. I am not this physical body, I am not this subtle body, I am not the causal body. Then who are you? Atmanam antaram shuddham. I am the innermost self. Antaram means this Atma is innermost self. And it is Shuddham. Shuddham means Atma doesn't have any kind of impurity. Whereas all these 3 bodies, they have impurities. They have limitations. They are very limited. Whereas the Atma Shuddham means it is unconditioned innermost self. If you want to reach there, you have to do this avaghatam. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving avaghatam. Pujya Guruji Swami Tejomayananji, he says, why he took this example, you know, this avaghatam, pounding of rice is not everybody's job. In our childhood also, that time they used to pound. In a village, 2-3 old ladies will be there. They are the experts for this job. We have to book them. So with so and so name, please come. Then they will say next week, next Tuesday, I will come in the afternoon. So we have to wait till then, because she is the expert in this job. If you give to every lady, they cannot do, they completely spoil this paddy. That how much power they should use, how much time interval they should use. Then only slowly all the husk will go away and rice will be safe. We will get all complete plenty of rice. In the same way, to do this Atma, Anatma, Vicharana, some logic we needed. We cannot think blindly. That logic will be supplied by the masters and the scriptures. So the solution will be logical thinking. Not simple thinking. Logical thinking is the solution to do Atma, Anatma, Vicharana. Like Tandulam, Avaghatam, how we pound the rice. In that way, all husk we have to remove. All upadhis we have to remove. And we should be stay at our own real state. So, this is the thought in the 16th verse. Bhagavan Shankaracharya is giving. Easy thought, simple thought. This Patikam and Upadhis, they are as though they are mixing. But if you properly see, its nature is different, its nature is different. If you know yourself, you know, for example, few people say, Swamiji, removing Upadhis means I have to drop mind, intellect and body. No. You should know you are not there. Mind may be different. Sometimes it may be cool and hot. Intellect may be with different moods. Body with different positions. But you are the substratum for all these. You are Chiranjeevi. Akhanda Brahma Swarupam is our own nature. Okay. Now, 17th verse in Atma Bodha is very, very important. What is its speciality, Swamiji? All students ask this question. You also must have asked sometime to your Guru. Very, very important question. What is that question, Swamiji? We say Atma is Satswarupam, pure existence. Atma is Chitswarupam, pure consciousness, means knowledge element is there. And the third one is Atma is bliss, Ananda Swarupam, are all pervading. Swamiji, if it is the nature of Atma, then it should be there for everything. For example, this existence nature we can see everywhere. Tree is, rock is, ocean is, human being I am, Devata is. Existence we can experience everywhere. But Swamiji, the next point is consciousness, Chaitanyam. But this Chaitanyam, all beings are not Chaitanyam, Swamiji. Why? For example, as a human being, I have this consciousness. I know who am I. I am a living, knowledgeable being. Why not this in this dabba, Swamiji? This dabba, it doesn't have that knowledge element, consciousness. You said Atma is same for everyone. If it is same for everyone, why not here? Why here? Why it is not like me? Why it is just inert? There is no knowledge element in this, Swamiji. Here knowledge element is there. If it is same Atma, it should be same for everyone. Why if you are Jadavastu? This computer cannot reflect its consciousness. This harmonium cannot reflect its consciousness. This chair, it doesn't have any consciousness, whereas I have. Why, Swamiji? Why it is not experienced everywhere? Then the answer Bhagavan is giving, that answer will be in actually in 17th sloka. But we will reflect little, then we will enter into that sloka. The answer for this question is, these three we say, na, existence, consciousness, and bliss. To reflect existence, it needs a particular kind of platform. To reflect consciousness, it needs a particular kind of platform. To reflect this bliss element, it needs a particular kind of platform. If we have these platforms, then definitely that element will be reflected. You know, that is in our personality is our buddhi, our subtle body. As long as you have subtle body, so long we will be conscious. Chaitanya Vastu. In our case also, if the subtle body leaves this gross body and this gross body no more conscious, you cannot call this gross body as a Chaitanya Vastu. It has to take a burial ground. Because as long as the subtle body is there, so long that knowledge will be reflected. To reflect that consciousness, it needs a particular kind of platform. This dabba, it doesn't have that subtle body. That's why it cannot reflect that consciousness. It has gross body, that's why it has existence. Dabba is, I can say. If it also has some subtle body, then this dabba also start moves. Like any animal or any bird or any other living being. So because of that platform only, that consciousness will reflect. Can you give one example, Swamiji? Guruji gives one example, that is, slowly you understand. Fire has two aspects. One is called heat, another one is called light. Heat and light both are the aspects of same fire. Okay? On the fire, you start boiling water. Every day we are boiling water. That water can reflect the heat element of the fire. It is getting heat because of fire only. One element only it can reflect, that water. Remove that water and put one iron piece in that fire. Iron piece. After some time, this iron piece, even though it is black, it can reflect both fire and light. Now you see the iron piece, it is in red color, Swamiji. It got light. It is very, very hot, Swamiji. It got heat also. Whereas the water, it can reflect only one aspect of the fire. In case of this iron rod, it can reflect both aspects, both fire and light, because its design is different, whereas the other design is different. But fire is the same, because its inherent nature is light and heat. In the same way, Atma's inherent nature is existence and consciousness. To reflect consciousness, it needs a particular kind of design. If you have that design, it will be reflected. If you don't have that design, it cannot be reflected. That simple. So many fresh Vedantic students, they ask, Swamiji, you have said Brahman is same everywhere. If it is same everywhere, why not all are in the same way? Because this is difference in our own designs. If you go to a great Brahmagnani, the Brahmagnani, who are you? If you ask, he says, I am Shuddha Ananda Swarupa. I am nothing but bliss. Because he realized that real identity. Whereas we are identified with mind level, so little we can experience Atma as I know myself, I know who am I. That much we will experience. Every time we say, I know who am I know who am I. That knowing element is called consciousness. Now in the sloka form, Bhagavanji, Shankaracharya ji saying, very, very important question, Swamiji. 17th. Sada sarvagatopyatma na sarvatra bhasate buddhavaveva bhaseta svacheshu pratibimbavat. Together. Sada sarvagatopyatma na sarvatra bhasate buddhavaveva bhaseta svacheshu pratibimbavat. See how Shankaracharya is saying, Sada sarvagatopi atma. This atma, this Brahma, sarvagatopi. Sarvagatopi means everywhere it is there. That's why we can say it is Advaita Swarupam, Swamiji. Advaita Swarupam means everywhere it is there. Sarvagataha. And Bhagavan is adding one adjective that is called Sada. Everywhere it is there 24/7. All the time Atma is there everywhere. Sada sarvagatopi Atma na sarvatra avabhasate. But it cannot be experienced everywhere. Na sarvatra avabhasate. It cannot be experienced everywhere as consciousness. Existence way it cannot be, it can be experienced everywhere. Existence form. But whereas the Chaitanya Rupam na avabhasate sarvatra. Sarvatra we cannot experience. Why, Swamiji? Where we can experience, Swamiji? Buddhau. But it can be experienced in Buddhau means in Buddhi. Buddhi means Buddhi plus mind, subtle body. Buddhau eva avabhasate. Eva means definitely you need subtle body to experience this Chaitanya aspect. Bhagavan is using eva. Eva means definitely you need subtle body to experience this Chaitanyam. How, Swamiji? Swacheshu pratibimbavatu. If you want to see your reflection, you need a clear platform. For example, a rough wood piece I give to you. It's very rough wood piece, for example. Now I ask you, you see yourself in that wood piece. You say, Swamiji, nothing I can see, Swamiji. Then I say, polish it. Swacheshu means polish it. Can you see now? In polished wood piece, Swamiji, little I can see. Because its texture is changed. In the same way, if the reflecting medium you have, then definitely this Chaitanyam will be reflected. If you don't have that medium, you cannot get this reflection. Sun is everywhere, but you cannot see sun reflection in rock. If you want to see sun reflection, you need water. But sun is there. In the same way, if you want to experience this Chaitanyam, you need a Sukshma Shariram. Otherwise, you can. Buddhau eva avabhasate. Eva means definitely you need a subtle body. Because the ability of subtle body is different, the ability of gross body is different. Then the next question, Swamiji, what is the difference between these two? Why subtle body can reflect, why not gross body? In our general parlance, this is nothing but gross body doesn't know what it is. You ask the hand, do you know yourself? It doesn't know. Whatever I say, it will do. Wave the hand, it will wave the hand. Keep it down, go it down. It cannot reflect that knowledge aspect. These are all nothing but inert tone. Whereas in case of mind, mind has that ability, knowing. Swamiji, I am knowing your lecture in my mind. This business of knowing will happen in mind. Swamiji, I am knowing what type of person he is. In my mind only I calculate. Swamiji, I am knowing where it is, what it is, how it is. This business of knowing in mind. Swamiji, why not gross body? Why subtle body can do that? The answer is the design of subtle body from already we told. This is also from 5 elements only, whereas subtle body also 5 elements only. Gross body also, it is made up of with 5 elements. Subtle body also made up of with 5 elements only. But the difference is, in the form of gross body, it is underwent a process called Panchikaranam. Whereas in case of subtle body, they are with the pure 5 elements. That is called Sattva Moolakam Sukshma Shariram, Tamo Moolakam Sthola Shariram. This gross body made up of with the tamasic element of 5 elements. That's why it cannot reflect. Whereas it is subtle body with sattvika element of 5 bodies, that way it can reflect knowledge. That's why in Bhagavad Gita, if you go further, they say the main experience of Sattva Gunam is nothing but knowledge. Now in our today's satsang, so many people are there. They are understanding this Vedanta Jnanam. That understanding of Vedanta Jnanam is because of Sattvika Gunam in your Buddhi. Wherever understanding is there, that is because of sattva gunam. Wherever non-understanding, there is no knowledge, that is because of tamasika gunam. That's why for some people, they are very much dominated with tamasic element. That's why they always prefer to sleep. Why Swamiji sleep? That is because of tamasic gunam. If you have rajogunam, rajogunam always prompts to activity. I want to do something. Few people, they don't sit quietly. If nothing is there, they take a broomstick and they clean the room, even though it is already cleaned. I know that is because of Rajasika Gunam. Swamiji, I cannot keep quiet, Swamiji. I have to do something. Whereas the Sattva Guna, here the work of understanding will happen. This subtle body made with Sattvika Gunam, that's why that knowledge can reflect in it. It is because of Tamogunam, knowledge cannot be reflected. Whereas pranas also, there is no knowledge, because they are made up of with rajogunam. Prana always they work, but they don't know what they are doing. Aina? In just buddhau eva avabhasate. That's why he said, definitely you need a subtle body to reflect this consciousness. Electricity is there throughout the wire, but you need a filament to get the light. There is no defect in the wire, Swamiji. Wire is there. But if you put a filament, definitely the light will be manifested. If there is no filament, then you cannot see light. But electricity is there. In the same way, Atma is sada sarvagato api. It is pervaded everywhere. But to reflect this Chaitanya, it needs a subtle body. This is the thought in the 17th verse. Now, 2-3 questions people ask. Swamiji, now I am Chaitanya Swarupam. Of course, my name is also Venkata Chaitanya. In Chinmaya Mission Puja, anyhow, I would like to share this thought. In Chinmaya Mission, for all brahmacharis, Gurudev gives Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Chaitanya. Any brahmachari, Chaitanya, common. Venkata Chaitanya, Raghu Chaitanya, some other Chaitanya, Veda Chaitanya, Ityad. Chaitanya will be there. If they take sannyasa, this Chaitanya they drop and they give Ananda. Tejomaya Ananda, Swarupa Ananda, Chinmaya Ananda. For sannyasi they give Ananda. For brahmachari they give Chaitanya. Why, Swami? Because here in brahmacharya ashram, Gurudev used to say, you have to be dynamic. Chaitanya means a living, energetic being. Chaitanya. This Ananda, when you keep on doing this work of Gurudev, work of God, slowly you start get the bliss. That is our third nature. Satta Chitta Ananda. Slowly you yourself will become enjoying that Ananda Rasam. That means, do you know, slowly because of this study, because of this pravachan, your mind gets settled into Sattva Buddhi. That Sattva Buddhi will reflect more bliss. Then he will be promoted to Ananda. He doesn't need any kind of external Anandas. That's why it is called Sannyasam. Chaitanyam. Okay. People ask, Swamiji, now I am a living being, Chaitanya Purusha. For example, I die. Already I told. For example, I die. Then what is going to be the Satta aspect and Chitta aspect, Swamiji? Then you know, Satta will be with gross body. Because gross body is, even though it is a dead body, we say dead body is. But the subtle body will leave the gross body, but Chaitanya cannot reflect in this platform. That's why they define death is nothing but departure of Sukshma Shariram from Sthola Shariram. Departure of subtle body from gross body. They have that Prakritika chain. When that chain dissociation, that is called death. Again, it will check its own gross body, a small baby in the mother's womb, and they join, life starts. New baby, new one, and it will continue. This is one point. And another point, Swamiji, you said gross body cannot reflect Chaitanyam because it doesn't have any Sattva Gunam. Subtle body can reflect Chaitanyam because it has a Sattva Gunam. And what about Anandam, Swamiji? Because Atma's third nature is Anandamaina. Anandam can be experienced in mind only, but mind should be calm. You know? If the mind is agitated, you cannot enjoy Anandam. Even though that Swarupam is Anandam, it cannot be experienced. When the agitated vritti, in Sanskritam it is called Ghora vritti. If the Ghora vritti can become Shanta vritti. Shanta vritti means quietened. You collected all mind rays at one point. That is called quietening mind. Gurudev always says, quieten your mind, quieten your mind, quieten your mind means collect all your mind and put one point. Then it will be Shanta Anandam. We experience it. So if the mind is in Ghora mood, Ananda cannot be experienced. If the mind is in Shanta mood, Ananda can be experienced. That time he is Satchidananda. He knew I am. And he knew what he is. That's why we say, I am Swamiji, I know Swamiji. I know. I am and I know, and I am blissful also. As a sadhaka avastha. In Purna avastha, there is no need to say also, because he is complete Anandam. His nature itself becomes Anand. So the whole Vedanta subject is nothing but me only. I am, I know I am, and if I am quietened, I am bliss. What you are, I am bliss. Not Sthola Shariram, not Sukshma Shariram, not Karan Shariram. I am nothing but Shuddha Shanta Ananda Swarupam. That is called Atma. Anytime you can get, anywhere you can get, any stage you can get. I am too old, Swami, I cannot realize Atma. Too old is for body. I am too bad, Swamiji, I cannot get a Brahma. Badness is for mind. Swamiji, I am very dull, Swamiji. Dull is for intellect. You are not old, you are not bad, you are not dull. You are Purna Ananda Chaitanya Satta Swarupam. Just quieten that mind, so you will reach Satchidananda Swarupam. So even though Chaitanyam is everywhere, it needs a particular platform. For this thought, Gurudev's one example, very, very famous example is there. He says, government is there throughout country. Government is there throughout country. But if you want to see the government, you have to go to New Delhi. Because there only file can move. In the same way, Chaitanya Brahma is everywhere. But to experience Chaitanya Brahma, it needs a headquarters. That headquarter is nothing but our subtle body. And Gurudev so funny way is, if you want to see the government everywhere, give one slap to the man who is in the road. Then all police vehicles will come. Then Gurudev will say that is the government. It is everywhere. But to experience that government, it need a headquarter. In the same way, to experience that Atma, it need a Buddhau eva avabhasate. We have that luckily. That's why we can do vichara. Whereas other beings, they have to grow in nature only by itself. Like cows and tiger or animals, birds. Slowly they will break that and they will get promotion like a human being. And third thought, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji today he wants to give is, Swamiji, you said I am Atma. I am Atma, you said. Not gross body, not subtle body, not causal body. This me, Atma, how I will be in this structure, Swamiji? What is my position or what is my style in this body? Bhagavan is saying in the next verse, your position is like Rajavatsada. You are like a king of the kings in your personality only. How he is saying? That will be 18th verse. It is very, very important verse. You know why? Master always wants to see us like a king, not like a slave for our mind. Why, Swami? Because you are a king. Rajavatsada. 18th. Dehendriya mano buddhi. Prakrutibhyo vilakshanam. Tadvrutti sakshinam vidyat. Atmanam Rajavatsada. Together. Dehendriya mano buddhi prakrutibhyo vilakshanam tadvrutti sakshinam vidyat atmanam Rajavatsada. My dear student, vidyat. Vidyat means one should know. We all, everyone, they should know. What, Swamiji, they should know? Atmanam, Atmanam, their own self. Atmanam, Rajavatsada. Always I am a king. Rajavat, Sada, always. So we should not feel any kind of limitedness, slavery. Then who are you? I am king of my personality. Rajavatsada. And Bhagavan is explaining Deha, Indriya, Mano, Buddhi, Prakruti. 5 he enumerated. Deha, physical body. Indriya, 10 sense organs. Manaha, our mind, emotional platform. Buddhi, our thoughts platform. Prakruti, our vasanas. Prakrutibhyoha vilakshanam. You are, vilakshanam means different from all these 5. You are not deha, indriya, mano, buddhi, prakruti. You are vilakshanam. Vilakshanam means viparita lakshanam. Completely your nature is opposite to them. Completely your nature is different from them. Then who am I, Swamiji? I am tadvrutti sakshinam. You are the pure witness to all the above vrittis. Tadvrutti sakshinam. Vidyat. You know that way yourself. And Atmanam Rajavatsada. You always, you are like a king. King of the king. Even now. So, you are not this Deha. You are Vilakshanam. You are completely different. What is the difference, Swamiji, between Atma and this Deha, Indriya, Mano, Buddhi, Prakriti? For example, the nature of Deham, the nature of physical body is birth, growth, disease, old age, and death. These 5 are the natures of physical body. Atma is different. Atma is completely free from all these kind of modifications. Atma is free. Indriyas, Swamiji, Indriya's nature is very, very important. Indriya's nature is they may be perfect, they may be defect. We have 10 Indriyas, 5 Jnanendriyas and 5 Karmendriyas. They have a quality such a way, few are perfect, few are defect. One Mahatma, he said, I don't know how far it is true. They say we have 10 Indriyas, nobody is completely 10 perfectional. Out of 10, 1 or 2 will be damaged pieces only. I don't know. Some people, somewhere some damage. Some people with eyes, some people with ear, some people with hands and legs, some people with nose and tongue and skin or what I don't. Some people with skin. They have that nature that they may be perfect, they may be defect. Or if you take all 10 are perfect when we are very young. Now, they are not perfect. We are wearing glasses. We are holding stick. So many problems, Swamiji. Their nature is perfection and defection. But Atma is completely free. It never be perfected. It never be defected. Whereas in kind of mind, what is the nature of mind, Swamiji? Already I told only 2. One is whether mind will be quiet or mind will be agitated. If mind is quiet, we say he is very good man, Swamiji. If mind is very agitated, we say he is a very bad man, bad-tempered Swamiji. But Atma is free from quietude, Atma is free from agitation. Vilakshanam from mind also. And nature of Buddhi, if you see the nature of Buddhi is, sometimes we understand, sometimes we don't understand. That is the nature of Buddhi. Today, very clear, Swamiji, we understand very well. We understood very well. Previous class, Swamiji, halfway it gone, Swamiji. This is the nature of Buddhi. Ardham bhavati, anardham bhavati. I understood, I could not, Swamiji. But Atma is free. In Atma standpoint, there is no understanding anything, there is no not understanding. And Prakriti. Prakriti is nothing but Sattva Rajas Tamo Gunamayi Maya. Avidya. Atma is always shining. No, nothing can cover it, nothing can illuminate. There is no need to illuminate. So Atma, what it is doing, Swamiji? It is Sakshinam. This is the Sakshi for all the 5. It knows body is good also, Atma illumines, body is bad time also, I know I am not well, Swamiji. This is because of Atma only. Today I am very healthy, Swamiji. Yesterday I am not well. Swamiji, today my mind is so quiet, Prashanta Swamiji. I know that. Swamiji, today I am not good. I know that. So Atma in the Sakshi way, it can illumine all, but it is not associated with anything. That's why they say it is like Raja. In Gurudev example, he used to say, Yasya Sannidhi Matrena. The king sits in the throne. Everything will be set right. There is no need to, king personally, no need to do anything. His presence only make everything work. Everything got done, Swamiji, because his presence. In the same way, Atma is Akarta. He doesn't do anything. Doing means thinking also doing, feeling also doing, working also doing. They are all the jobs of physical body, subtle body, causal body. But in his presence only they work. Atma is Rajava. That pure presence is you. In one meeting, Chennai, when Gurudev, some people they called for his Gita Jnana Yajna inauguration. two guests have come. One guest name is A. Ramagopala Swami. Another guest name is called C. Ramagopala Swami. And so many people have come, they are introducing everyone. And they introduced A. Ramagopala Swami, is CEO of so and so company. And C. Ramagopala, so they should not confuse, because A. Ramagopala Swami is different. C. Ramagopala Swami is from political background. He is a minister of this particular portfolio there. And they gave mic to Gurudev. Gurudev started. Gurudev is a great speaker, great orator. He said, my left side is A. Ramagopala Swami. My right side is C. Ramagopala Swami. In between them, I am pure B. B-E. That pure B is called Sannidhi Matrena. Just pure existence. In his presence, pure B means pure presence. Not presence of body, presence of mind, presence of intellect. That pure presence is me. It is like a king of the kings. My dear student, you are that. She is that. He is that. On that, all these upadhis are playing. But you know yourself as a king. So that will be today's thought. Okay. And other thoughts we can see in our next classes of Atma Bodha. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.